Welcome back to Love and Junk. I'm Laura.
I'm John.
And today we're talking about Moonage Daydream.
So Moonage Daydream is a documentary that we saw at the movie theater, and it is about David Bowie.
That's right.
Sort of.
Well, it is about David Bowie.
Yes.
But how to describe this movie?
Yeah, because it's not a typical documentary that you would expect. Okay.
Right.
There's a lot of his music in there, but basically, it seems to me that they tried to do the documentary in such a way that would give you an idea or a feeling of what David Bowie's artistry was about.
Right. It's kind of a journey into what he thought about life and how he lived. And so there is some music in it, but it's not a concert. You know, there's clips of concerts, but it's not about that. The music almost takes a background to who he was as a person.
Right.
It is very thought-provoking. If you are creative, let me tell you who you have to be to appreciate this movie.
Yes.
In my opinion, I feel like need to be creative or be able to tap into that side of yourself.
Exactly.
Because this is an art piece. This is not, David was born here and here's how he grew up. There's a couple of snapshots of when he was younger, but it is very much like kind of an acid trip.
It is a blend of like sounds, just like a lot of different noises, his music, flashing lights, art,
him answering questions.
Clips from like different interviews that he's done, and a lot of clips of him just walking around in different cities. Yeah,
and showing his fashion. Which I love. I love seeing the old stuff and, how he felt about going on stage and how, Ziggy, he kind of hid behind Ziggy because he never wanted to get on stage as himself. That really touched me. I never knew. I mean, I did know that he was into art, but I never knew how much so. He's very talented. Very, very extremely talented. But here's the thing. When you're watching this movie, towards the end in particular, they talk more about his art than his music.
Right.
And they're showing lots of pictures. And you don't know, and it's mixed in with little videos. And the little videos are not of David necessarily. Some of them might be, but some of them are just random other clips of weird things.
Yeah.
So the art and the pictures that they show, the whole time I was like, well, did he make that? Or is that just a weird trippy picture? Like some of it you don't know.
Yeah.
And it keeps you guessing.
Right. It was interesting to find out though with his art that he did a lot of painting, and he painted like portraits sort of people like in Berlin. Because he stayed there a lot and for a while, I guess, and he would like paint them, not how they necessarily looked, but very, expressive, I guess, of how he thought that they were feeling.
Yeah. So a couple of things stood out to me. I loved his music always, and I always loved to see what he was going to wear. Always. And there's a period of time that I really love David Bowie, and there's a period of time I love crazy. I love the crazier stuff more than the pastel suit phase that he went through, but you get to see it all. He does talk about his sexuality a little bit, although it's not a sexual movie, but it talks about, how he felt. He was, for a while, he just didn't address his sexuality.
But it was interesting because a lot of the interviews that they showed were, they showed him like throughout, but in his younger years, because of the way that he dressed and everything, that a lot of the interviewers would ask some questions that were really kind of inappropriate for today, to be asking
inappropriate
somebody
for any time, yeah.
Yeah, it was it was insane to see, really. Because we've come a long way, I think, you know.
In some ways.
Yeah.
We got some work to do, but yes, we have for sure. One thing that kind of struck me is there's no narrator. The movie opens with a very intriguing quote of his.
Yeah.
And then that goes away and it kind of gets into it. But the narration, when there is narration, it's just audio of people asking him questions. And then it'll stop and then it'll break into song and then there's pictures. You know, some of it you'll be seeing him perform, then it'll go into these other images and stuff. It was at the Cannes Film Festival. And I definitely do think it was more of an art piece. If you want to learn about David Bowie, I'd probably go somewhere else. But if you're a fan, it is a love letter to fans.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, and the artistry, you know. So if you're kind of not into those things, then it's probably not the movie for you.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you don't like loud music and noises, don't go to this.
Or flashing lights.
Yeah, it was very loud.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, did I just get a lot older and all of a sudden I'm just like grumpy and like, this is too loud.
Well, and maybe it was a little, there was nothing for the sound to bounce off of, really, because other than me and John.
It was great. We had a private showing.
Yeah.
We were the only ones there.
Yeah, so it is out in limited, what's the word? Limited
time?
Limited access. I mean, there's only a couple of showings in like one theater. It's a limited run, I guess, is a good way to put it. So if you're interested, you got to run, hurry, and get to it now. It was, I think, $10.50 a ticket.
Yeah, because we didn't go during the matinee. But
yeah, and it was worth it. I enjoyed it very much. I learned a lot about. Not learned because I kind of know a lot about him, but I loved seeing his art and like tying that, because you see his music everywhere, but seeing his art really kind of cemented how I felt about him. I loved the things that he said about himself, about, he does have some, or did have some anxieties and some mental issues, and that he never wanted to step on stage as himself, and he created these characters and all these different costumes and things to detract.
Yeah, right. He wasn't going up as himself. He was going up as, the characters. So.
And then he did talk about, and I loved this part too. He said they were talking about when he got more mainstream at a part in this movie, and I had totally forgot about, he did that Pepsi commercial.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Tina Turner.
Yeah. And I had forgotten about that. That's kind of the period of time where I was a little like less of a Bowie fan.
Right.
That time. And he was talking about, I can't remember the question. I just remember the answer to the question. He said, it was something like about selling out and how he felt about that, because he certainly did start acting, his music was different during that time. Mm-hmm. And he said, I never wanted to create music for people and give them what they want. I always wanted to create whatever I wanted to create and attract the people that can appreciate it. And that's so, that stood out to me above all else. So I think after that, then he did a change, and then he started doing more of what his roots were.
Right, yeah.
That's how I feel kind of too. I don't have any ideas that we're for everybody on the internet.
Right.
I know that. There are people out there that cannot stand me and like John, or there are people that are like, John's so
dumb.
Low energy, or, they're just people that have things to say about us. And I just kind of feel like we're going to put out what we want to put out and collect our people.
That's right.
And these videos are for some of you, but they're also for us. And I want to look. So when people say, just eat the candy bar and don't tell us your life story. No, we're going to tell our life stories because this is our legacy, right?
That's what we do.
For people, for our generations to come, they can look back and say, my great, great, great grandma and grandpa. had a YouTube channel.
Yeah, look at these things they were eating back then.
Yeah. So anyways, I really appreciated that part of the movie. There's a little clip of him in Labyrinth, and I love that movie. And when I saw it, I was like, there he is in all of his glory. He just, I kind of got the gist, even all those years back then. I think Labyrinth came out when I was around 15. I don't know exactly the year, but around that age, I remember. And I just got the impression that David Bowie in that movie is David Bowie. I got the impression that he wasn't that different than that character.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he kind of dressed similarly a lot of the time. You know,
I loved his hair in that movie. Yeah. Do you have a favorite David Bowie song?
I don't know. I like, a lot of the older stuff I think I like better. You know, a lot of the poppier stuff is stuff that, I don't know.
Like China Girl and that stuff, that's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But my favorite David Bowie song is Heroes. I love that song. My second favorite, I would say, is Rebel Rebel. And I really love Fashion. Those are kind of my top David Bowie tunes.
All right.
Yeah, so anyway.
Nice.
Let us know if you're a fan of David Bowie, or if you intend to go see this movie, or if you have, and if you did, what you thought of it. It's a love or hate, folks. I'm telling you. If you love David Bowie, you have a chance of still loving this movie. But there are people out there that love David Bowie that are going to go and say, that sucked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, we have another movie coming up that we're really excited to go see. Some of you may know we went to see Coldplay this summer for the first time. John's favorite band, my second favorite band, only to Queen, is Coldplay, and they have a live movie event.
Yeah, it's a live concert, so
yeah,
it'll be cool to go see it. Because, it was great to go see him in person, but we were so far back, I'm like, I can't even see anybody.
No,
but now we're going to be there, and we'll see everything.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So look for that coming soon, and make sure you're following us on social media if you haven't already. We are most active, I would say, on Instagram, but we also have a Facebook, we also have a TikTok, we also have a Pinterest, that kind of stuff. Come find us. Let us know what other things you want to see us review. We're going to be doing some more TV shows, movies. Be looking for Hocus Pocus 2 review coming soon.
Yeah, so the Great British Bake Off.
Yeah, we're watching that with some of you. I know some of you are really into that, so be looking for some more TV and movie reviews coming really soon. And let us know in the comments if there's something that you want to see us react or review to. Some of the reactions that people have suggested we can't react to, or I don't know how.
Right.
Because some of the stuff is copywritten, and maybe you just want us to watch it and then come on here like this and tell you. But anyway, let us know what you want to see us react to or review down in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you haven't already. Your support over here means so much, and we promise that we're going to do our best to put out more content here. Now our business has little baby legs, and we're getting all organized, and I think we're finally at the point, I feel like we're finally at the point that we can put a little bit more time and effort into this channel. So thank you for all of those that are supporting us now, and that will continue to do so in the future. Links to subscribe to all of our channels down in the comments of this video. Now, if you love David Bowie, or seeing an avant-garde, whatever that term actually means. I mean, I don't know exactly how to define it other than go see this movie.
Yes.
That's what I feel like. It's an avant-garde, artsy piece. Or us.
Or the video.
Give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel when you do that. That's all we have for today.
That's it, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.